Hey everybody, it's Wyatt and I am Ferda Tunes, and today I'm showing off a little bit. So over the last 2 or 3 years, I've personally been really surprised with how many videos or little communities on social media I've seen that are just completely surrounding vinyl records. I think it's pretty easy to see that there's been a huge surge in just overall attention towards vinyl records in the last probably decade. And I think they really deserve it. It's a really underrated way of listening to music. So I asked some people on Twitter if they thought people might be interested in me doing these kind of videos. I thought it'd be fun for me. I love to just geek over these records. I could do it all fucking day. And I'll try to go into detail of if I know anything about special pressings or what sounds especially good on record, whatever little special thing comes with the record, things like that. And of course, hip hop has a special place in my heart, so I bought a bunch of those when I started collecting. Some of my favorites, whatever. I'm gonna lay them all out now. Rap and hip hop. What do I got first? So first on the list is a Run DMC 12-inch actually that my mom's friend gave to me. She was getting rid of a bunch of her records and I said, fucking send them my way. So this has Hard Times and Jam Master Jay on it, instrumental on side 2. Standard 12-inch, but I'm very happy I have it. I definitely need an album from Run DMC at some point. But next up is the big 80s gangster rap classic. Obviously NWA Straight Outta Compton is, I'd say, a must for any hip-hop fan vinyl collector. Obviously classic and a half. I shouldn't need to say too much about this album. Next up is another classics classic, Dr. Dre, The Chronic. Honestly can't get enough of how this one sounds on record. It's just fucking fantastic. Man just posted right the fuck up. Fantastic one. Another essential for any hip-hop collector. Next up we got a Low End Theory, Tribe Called Quest. Can't get enough of this album, seriously. One of my favorite old school rap albums, period. You'll notice with some of my records, especially recently, I've been just opening the side of them so I can still take the records out and use them, but they have a nice little plastic sleeve just to keep everything nice and beautiful. I don't do this with bookends, obviously, the ones that open up, but most records that just come and are just disc and a sleeve. Just a little tip if you guys want to keep your records a little more mint. I think it helps. The co-host of the podcast, Jan Marco, actually gave me this for my birthday last year, I think, and fucking right! I needed it bad. This was my #1 rap album of all time in high school, and still top 5 for sure to me. Can never get enough of Wu-Tang, really. I also very recently got my first Pac album, Me Against the World. I think it's his best album easily. I'd love to get his whole discography at some point in the future, but he's got a nice little pick. He's so handsome, man. Next up, I got the Slim Shady LP. I bought this quite quickly, actually, when I started collecting. I found it in a store, and I was just like, yeah, I need it. And I'll forever love Eminem's first 3 albums, and this is probably my favorite of the 3. So definitely glad I have it. Obviously a classic. Next up, the other co-host of the podcast, Leo. He got me the Black Album for my birthday. And yeah, this is definitely my favorite Jay-Z album, maybe his best. Next up is a little less rap, but it's still definitely an essential album overall, I think. Nerd's debut album, the Neptunes, Pharrell Williams, Chad Hugo. Super funky and hard and groovy and catchy. And I got a little special white, nice and creamy. Beauty disc, beauty. Definitely one of my favorite records I own. Moving into some instrumental hip-hop, The God album, J Dilla Donuts. Got this from a very good friend of mine who actually put me onto records in the first place. Shout out Will. But he just fucking slaps this in my lap in the car window. Like, happy birthday, and I'm like, aha! I could listen to this record over and over and over, and I have the chops, everything sound immaculate. A little bit more instrumental hip-hop for you guys. Blockhead, The Music Scene. Very underrated album and producer, I think. If you're a fan of instrumental hip-hop, DJ Shadow, J Dilla, even Avalanches and that stuff, check out the first 2 tracks if you haven't heard anything off this album. I really recommend it. Just look at that fucking cover. Next record is in a big black sleeve. Most of my records don't come in sleeves, but this one needs to be because there's a big fat dick on the cover. If you don't know, Death Grips, No Love Deep Web, their 3rd album, I think. They said fuck a label and put their dick on the album. I fucking love Death Grips, and this was my favorite album from them for a while. I'm not taking it out of the sleeve. I don't even want to see it again. I'll spare you guys. Next one I bought pretty recently. It was a big high school classic for me. Just could not stop bumping it when it came out. and that's PRhyme, DJ Premier, and Royce da 5'9's collab project. Their second one was great, I loved it too, but this one just always stuck with me and I'm not too sure why. Not too long either, give it a shot. Next, I thought I'd slip in just a few R&B kind of albums because I don't have too many. Childish Gambino's Awaken My Love. I got for like 20 bucks at a record store, brand new, so happy. The really old school funk and soul sound that he just completely immersed himself in with some of these tracks just tickled an itch for me that I felt I needed from an album last decade. And I was just so happy he just took such a creative step forward and came out with by far his best album. Next up, my lovely, lovely girlfriend got me Starboy on record for my birthday last year. I'm not a die-hard Weeknd fan or anything, but Starboy I always loved. And I think the songs he did with Daft Punk on this album are like 2 of the best hit songs of the last decade. Again, I don't know if mine's special or they all come like this, but fucking beauty translucent disc. SZA, Control, good lord. Beautiful, beautiful album, love it to death. The songwriting, the poppy production is translucent too, and good Christ, it's just such a gorgeous record to own. Comes with a little booklet too of more pictures. I'll keep going with that flavor. I got Flower Boy for Christmas a few years ago. Love Tyler the Creator to death. This album, another just such a step forward in creativity and just pushing your sound to where you want it to be. Very impressive and fun and just great album to have. This one did have gold translucent discs, but unfortunately I just got the black ones, so nothing special to see here. However, I did get the limited edition Igor, bitch! You know, this album came out and I listened to it for a while and it grew on me very quickly. Thank fucking God, because oh my god, it's just amazing. My girlfriend got me Young Lean on record, and I was very happy. I've gotten into his music quite a bit recently, and it's a very guilty pleasure for me. I just love his shit. And I mean, come on. Holy shit.
Oh my fucking god, okay, don't fuck it up, don't fuck it up, don't fuck it up, don't fuck it up, don't fuck it up.
Young Lean, dude. So that's all for now. I basically realized that I forgot 2 records that I cherish with my entire soul in the original recording of this video. And then I just went way too in depth with some of the artists that I have multiple records by. So I decided it'd just be best to just cut it here and make a part 2, a little shorter video. But I'll basically just show off a few more rap records there. So sorry I couldn't get it all in one video, and sorry for the awkward outro. But I just thought it'd be easier to just make another shorter video of just following it up. So that's about it for now. As usual, you can follow Ferda Tunes everywhere, links in the description. You can check out the podcast if you want to hear more content from me and the boys. And yeah, that's about it. We'll see you in the next one.